Hello, I'm Damian, the Vicar at Christ Church, Thornton in Lancashire. And I've been thinking about what happened when Jesus appeared to his disciples at his resurrection. There are many instances of when he appeared to them. He surprised them, he startled them. There was one occasion when he provided for their physical needs. The disciples were out on a boat looking for fish, but they couldn't catch anything. And Jesus shouted, "Have you caught anything?" They said, "No." He said, "Put the net out on the other side of the boat." They did. John tells us there were 153 fish in total. And when they got to the beach, Jesus had already set up a little kind of cooking area, a small barbecue. He had some wood, the fire was burning, he had some bread, and he already had some fish. And then he asked them to bring in the fish they'd caught to start to prepare that as well. It reminds me that Jesus is the great provider. He always knows when to provide and what to provide to those that are in need. Think about when Jesus provided bread for the 5,000 people, the followers of Jesus on that hillside, probably 10 or 15,000 in total. And there he was with just a few fish and loaves of bread and provided a meal for thousands of people. They were hungry, they needed physical sustenance, and Jesus provided. Jesus took bread and he broke it to remind the disciples of what his body was going to go through, that in their spiritual need he would provide for them through the breaking of his body. And then after his resurrection, he broke bread again, and this time cooked some fish and some bread, and provided a breakfast. After his resurrection, the disciples, not rich people, poor people, working people, he provided what they couldn't provide for themselves, fish and a breakfast. This shows us that God always knows the need of those who can't help themselves, and he always knows what to provide, when to provide it. And as God's kingdom on earth, as the church, the hope of the world, the light of Christ, we are witnesses to God's provision. As Christians, it's our duty and our joy to provide for those in need. It might be like Jesus, providing physical things, providing bread, providing fish, providing the means to cook the fish. It might be financial support. It might be giving somebody a helping hand to start their own business, to start their own venture. It might be literally clothing and feeding the most vulnerable. Whatever it might be, when we help those in need, we're being like Jesus, knowing what the need is, providing what people can't help themselves with. And as we provide that, having fellowship. It's not about giving somebody food and then saying goodbye. It's about having breakfast with them, having dinner with them, being part of their lives. So I commend to you, as I do to myself, that we might be like Jesus, providing bread, providing fish, providing the means to cook, providing for what people need when they can't help themselves. Perhaps this week, as you watch this video, you might think of somebody that you know is in need. Just one person, maybe a group of people, maybe a family, maybe a household. What is it that they need? How can you help provide what they can't provide for themselves? Bring that need to God. Perhaps God could use you to purchase something to help them. It might be providing something to help somebody start their own business. It might be, as we think beyond our own nation of the UK to further afield, helping the poorest people with the equipment they need to start their own business or to harvest their own food. Something practical, something simple. And as we provide that physical thing that's needed, let's point people to Jesus, who plugs that most deep spiritual need. Amen.